Hello, I'm Antti Siirala. This is Gabriele Bagnati, and he will perform the Chopin Scherzo No. 2. Bravo, very nice. I heard this, of course, a few times already in the lesson and in the concert, and I think it's, I mean, it was to start with already a very good performance, and perhaps has even taken some little steps forward here. So it's very nice to listen to you play. Yeah, we can maybe discuss still a couple of details. I think in general, I mean, pianistically, everything is in great shape, and so. And also musically, I think you have fairly clear ideas what you want to do. I think in some little phrasing details, perhaps there is a chance to listen even more carefully, and maybe through that still increase the sense of this drama that is in this piece, very present. All the scherzos of Chopin are very repetitive, as we know. Like there is a lot of same material coming over and over again. In this one, also the same elements are somehow juxtaposed from the beginning very strongly, and perhaps to have as clear an expression for that as possible will help the piece kind of stay alive. Not that it doesn't, but I think it's really not so easy in these kinds of pieces to kind of motivate. Why do we play for the 8th time and for the 10th time the same music? So somehow, and as we spoke before, the kind of main tension here is between B flat minor and D flat major, which is even to the extent that you cannot really very easily say which key this piece would be written in. I mean, starts in B flat minor, ends in D flat major. I think still, and both of these things already, both of these keys come in the first phrase actually, or in the first two phrases. And they are very kind of, very clearly put next to each other, and somehow almost, the music almost poses the question, like where is this going? Is it a happy piece or a tragic piece? So I think, despite having already discussed this a few times, I think perhaps you could still find a stronger expression for this. How to get this sotto voce in the beginning, sorry to repeat, but how to get it even more sotto voce, how to get this feeling of, it's almost like a trembling or something, like something that it's almost not real, like somehow expecting something, being afraid, something like that. So this idea, I would not try to accentuate very much the individual tones. I think it's more about the gesture really, and try to find the legato also. So you play a fourth finger in the left hand, right? Yes. Yeah. Can we do once the complete opposite and play it like, let's say, mezzo forte?
Yes.
Yeah, and try to find the hand movement kind of connecting this figure. Yes, and bring the same to the right hand. And then, yeah, and then pianissimo. Yeah. Now it's better, yeah. Mm-hmm. So try to find this it's still slurred, even it's many little notes, but it's still somehow like this kind of, it draws the B flat minor in a very suggestive manner. And the music could go, sometimes I play this game, like kind of build scenarios, like what actually could we expect? Because if we played something a million times, then yes. Okay, it starts like this, and then comes this, and then, but somehow always like how it would be for the first time. So if you're, it could be something in B flat or whatever. It could go wherever. So I think this kind of atmosphere that you really don't know, and then could be in stable B flat, but it's so somehow we shouldn't play too much of this game because it will make you crazy. But
No,
but just to get the
understand.
sense of drama
Sure.
in the beginning.
More sense of drama.
Yeah. So
Also
that it's
surprising.
so this is something, and this is one surprise, and that's even a bigger surprise. And the second here, how it continues, then I think that should be more tight. Yeah, so now I hear a little bit and another accent here.
Ah, okay, so more
Yeah.
linked all together.
Yeah, because he writes also a hairpin down. Yeah, this,
Sure. Okay.
better, but still I have a little bit accented feel. I have a feel ti, yam, padam,
okay.
pam. Yes, better, and also, so I really feel here. Which do you use second finger or how do you play?
Sometimes second, sometimes first. Like
Maybe you decide.
Always the same.
Maybe
okay.
always, and maybe we would think about using the first.
Sure.
Much better. So it's somehow really this sense of surprise. It's sometimes difficult to maintain that with these kind of classics that you play and you hear all the time. Yes. So why is this exciting for the 5,000th time? But somehow it should be. So somehow the appearance of the fortissimo, appearance of that harmony, all of these, and also the return to the dominant. And here we already we hope, okay, maybe we can go here, but so this sudden denial of that. Exactly. So it's also try to kind of keep those very much together gesturally.
Sure.
So you play it, and so this is something that's slurred off. So here is, and you have a downward hairpin, only staccato, no accent, nothing. But then, and that's again, it's quite a violent thing that's joining this F. So all of this, it's more or less there, but I think it can be still more focused sometimes. Sure. Can you do the second one?
Yes.
Interesting how he writes half notes here. Okay. And why? I mean, it's all pedaled. Doesn't matter. You could play, it's still there. But maybe it's a different feeling. Yeah, and try to, yeah, exactly, better. I would hold the fifth finger. Exactly, because yadam. Exactly, it's like the Jaws, the movie. Exactly. Very threatening. And again, go on. Don't stop here on the radar. Yeah, there if you don't want to play with, do you play with 4 normally or play with 5?
With 5.
You can play with 5, then you have to use your foot and your ear just to connect. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So I think it makes a difference what kind of gesture you think about. I have a feeling you quite often you kind of you come away from the piano when you play loud notes. Okay. And it's, you know, often there is nothing wrong with that. But then I think you can be more precise about how do you want it to sound. Is it Or sometimes I think it needs a little bit more kind of length, even if it's a short note. So if you have a, maybe not something that flies to the air, because it's still, it's somehow like waiting for something to happen. And